We just listened to the governor lecture for an hour about the state of our state. But we all know there's more to it than that. So I'm here to tell you the actual state of our state. You know, Detroit is the only city in the history of the world to drop in population by more than 1 million people. From 1.9 million people to around 630,000 today. At our peak in the early 80s, Michigan had 19 seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. Today, we only have 13. Because of our population decline relative to the rest of the country, we have less power and less influence in Congress. From 2000 to 2010, Michigan was the only state in the nation that lost population, the only one. Under Governor Snyder, we were able to stop the bleeding, but we're stagnant once again. Michigan used to be one of the wealthiest states in the country. Today, we're near the bottom. When most of us think about Michigan, there's still this idea of our state as an economic powerhouse, the arsenal of democracy. That was 70 or 80 years ago at this point. I'm not going to blame one party or the other because we all know both Republicans and Democrats have been in control at various times, and there's complex reasons for Michigan's decline. But if we want the situation to be any different 10, 20 years from now, we need to take drastic action to fix it. Fortunately, those actions are pretty simple. We all want Michigan to be a place where our kids can grow up, find a good job, and raise a family of their own rather than having to move to Tennessee, Texas, Florida. I'm State Representative Brian Postumus. I'm the majority floor leader here in the Michigan House of Representatives. And I've been asked to give the official Republican response to the governor's State of the State address. I love our state. But I was born in 1984, and Michigan has been on the decline for pretty much my entire life. We now have divided government here in Michigan. The Democrats currently control the Senate and the governor's office. Republicans control the House of Representatives. That means we're going to have to work together if we want to get anything done. I'll tell you one thing. Republicans have no intention of using our majority to obstruct. We will use it to lead. We will lead on the issues you care about, bringing down the cost of government, keeping more money in your pocket, keeping our communities safe, and educating our kids. You know, we're only 2 months in, and we've already made it harder for lawmakers to waste tax dollars on pork barrel spending. We also empowered the House Oversight Committee to make sure that your government is held accountable. We'll make sure taxpayers are getting value for their money. Now, the albatross, the state budget. When Governor Whitmer took office, the state budget was $58 billion. She's proposed $86 billion for the next year. If the budget had just kept pace with inflation, it'd only be $72 billion. What's more, last legislative session started with a $9 billion surplus. Your government squandered it, all of it. All that extra money could have gone toward fixing the roads, but it didn't. Could have gone toward educating your kids, but it didn't. And now the governor is talking about raising taxes again. We don't need to raise taxes. We don't need more money. We have more than enough money already. In fact, House Republicans already proposed a plan to fix the roads without costing you an additional penny. We need to focus on essentials first: infrastructure, public safety, education. With all that extra money in the budget, there's even enough room to fix the roads and roll back the income tax. Inflation is hurting everyone right now, so we should let people keep more of their own money. You know, my grandpa taught me that before you can fix a problem, you have to acknowledge it. Our state isn't in a great place right now. Frankly, it hasn't been for a while. Unfortunately, too many politicians have, for too long, refused to acknowledge that problem. We may not be in a great place today, but I believe we can be. So how do we return there? How do we get back there to what we were as a great state? First, our state needs to focus on keeping more of its people's money in their own pocket. Michiganders know far better how to spend their own money than the government ever will. Second, we need to create safer streets for Michigan families. And finally, we need to remind ourselves that politicians represent us, not special interests, not mega corporations, and certainly not other countries. I believe the new Republican Party is one that represents the everyday American. It is no longer the party of big business and career politicians. It is the party of farmers, the party of plumbers, mechanics. It's the party of the single mom trying to get her 3 kids to and from soccer practice, all while juggling a job and trying to figure out how to afford groceries. We are the party of practical solutions. Thank you, and I welcome you to join us in bringing our state back.